Let's go, y'all. This Brother Leander back here with a Brother Leander moment. We're going to be talking about power of God in the times of pain. We were 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 8 to 10. We were so utterly burdened beyond our strength that we despaired of life. Indeed, we felt we had received the sentence of death, but that was to make us rely not on ourselves, but on God who raises the dead. He delivered us from such a deadly peril, and he will deliver us. On him we have set our hope that he might deliver us again. 2 Corinthians 1, verses 8 to 10. Christians do not have to pretend that life feels great all the time. Sometimes you just ain't feeling it. You know, you can get in an argument, have a bad move, and we ain't perfect. We never gonna be perfect till we cross over to the other side. The Apostle Paul certainly didn't mind admitting to hardship. In fact, Paul's trials led him to say of his troubles in Asia, we despaired even of life itself. So Paul they even despaired of life. That's how bad it was. Okay, indeed, we felt that we had received the sentence of death. Come on now. Trials and troubles will inevitably come our way, saints. And like Paul, we don't have to act as though everything is always fine, because the truth be told, everything is not always fine. As we are honest with ourselves and others about our trials, we must also remind ourselves that God has a purpose in our pain. Paul says of his burden that this was to make us rely not on ourselves. Isn't it true that when life is going great, when everything seems rosy, we tend to just cruise along? Then trouble hits, and suddenly we're forced back to reliance on God when we should never stop relying on him to start with. But we go there sometimes. God, he purposes affliction, illness, loss, difficulty in the workplace, a wayward child, that we might not rely on ourselves, but on him, saints. Alone, okay? We need to be relying on God alone, okay? And what kind of God does Paul say we rely on in our trouble? One who raises the dead. In every death, okay? We ain't just talking about you going in the ground. We're talking about every death. We're talking about death of dreams, hopes, health and life, and then in death itself, at the end of life. We can cling to the God who has triumphed over death and will lead us to fullness of life in eternity. It is through the resurrection power of Jesus Christ, our Savior, that God delivers us from sin now and frees us to hope in a final deliverance from all suffering and death when we cross over on the other side. And as we wait our full experience of resurrection hope, God uses, in that time, he uses our trials and weaknesses to keep us close to him. In Jesus' own life, resurrection power came after the crucifixion of pain. The same pattern holds true for us. It is in dying that we live. It is in weakness that we are strong. It is in emptiness that we are full. When we empty ourselves, we can fill ourselves up with God. It is in self-forgetfulness that we find true security and confidence in God. When God's sovereignty allows affliction to shake your life, remember that he has designed that very trial for you to draw closer to him and rely more fully on him. As you learn to rely on him more and more, his strength will shine through your weakness, and you will know the true spiritual power, even through the pain. This has been a Brother Leander moment. God bless you.